app as soon as every UT game is over, taking your calls and breaking down the game to levels that can only be described as beyond scientific. So tune in and drink with us from the keg of glory, or drown in the pool of despair, the voluntary reaction on Fanrun Radio.
The voluntary reaction. Raw, unfiltered, real.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Dick's House of Sport at Westtown Mall is a destination devoted to sport, and it's your destination for exclusive events and experiences. Come visit a store like no other. Check out our 40-foot rock wall, golf performance center, Hit Tracks batting cage, and outdoor turf field. You can now rent our space for private events and birthday parties. Learn more about our events and exclusive product launches on Facebook and Instagram at Dick's House of Sport KNX. Dick's House of Sport, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio. Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
Fired up, focused, and prepared. TGMD's in the house today. C was supposed to be with us. Hopefully he gets back at some point, but he's watching curling today. He is a curling freak. And so there you have it with the C. Matt, are you a big curling guy? Because he is a curling aficionado, and that's underway in the Olympics. C, are you a big curling guy?
No, I am not, Tom. Not at all.
Are you?
Good to know Ken Palm has somebody else he can watch it with.
That's right. Matt, where are you on the Joey Aguilar news that popped and dropped rather quickly right on top of us, as we kind of thought it would, but not that quickly. Jeez.
I think it gives you the best chance to win in 2026, which is kind of the goal here in this kind of era of teams and not programs. So could you have a better quarterback? Yeah, but you've got a guy at, I think, considering what he gave you last year, is probably below market value, which is probably a good thing. And you're kind of overpaying your backups, but it gives you the best chance to win next year, I think. So, yeah, you might lose some of the upside for 27, but I don't really think that matters at this point in this year-to-year era.
I guess my thing is, and this is one thing we'll talk about, because Larry Vaught's going to join us. There's 100% chance of that coming up in our B block. But here in the A block, one thing I want you to consider is, because what we do, just to take you inside our production meetings before the show, 9:30 generally, we'll convene in the morning. That's after Matt gets in a run with his puppy. After Brian makes his scrambled eggs, his wheat toast dry, and drinks himself a protein shake. Me, it's after I get up. I get up at 9:15. But what we do is we structure the show, A block, B block, C block, D block, E block, F block, G block, and then we get into overtime block. But in the A block here, just to promote, preview what we're going to do, I can't help but wonder if this thing is going to augment the pressure on the coaches here if, in fact, Aguilar becomes a quarterback. Because there's an expectation that Aguilar is going to take another step. And, taking another step at quarterback means you're going to be better, and you've added these defensive players, and your team should be better, and therefore you should win 9 or 10 games. And what happens if you win 8 and then you don't have a quarterback that you've played and is ready for the 2027 season? And now all of a sudden you're kind of in the soup, and it was sort of off or not. And that's kind of my fear. But, it ain't my dime on my dance floor. And I like how Matt says that he agrees there's two sides of the argument, two sides of the coin. Matt says there's a place for somebody like me to say what I'm saying and not want to do the Sammy. Bry, Sammy is like he's like a speech Gestapo, isn't he, Bry? He was on here ripping Matt yesterday in Matt's absence, Brian. Bry took up for you, Matt.
Just shameful.
Bry came with the brass knucks.
I did hear that.
Yeah, Bry came with the brass knucks on him.
Sammy was off his rocker yesterday.
Sammy!
No offense. Sammy.
No offense, Sammy.
Sammy's from Memphis. He's not Sammy from the Ridge.
Well, he came hard. He came with
he clarified that.
He goes, "I'm from Memphis, brother," and he had his brass knucks in his hand or something, I'm from Memphis, brother. So our third hour can get a lot of things wild and woolly. Generally doesn't get very hairy with me in here. But I'm going on like 2.5 day growth. Maybe I can show people this later. I'll show you my alopecia spots. But maybe we'll do that later on. In the meantime, we've got a lot to talk about. How about the Kentucky Wildcats, Matt, playing good ball all of a sudden? Oweh starting to round into form. They've got a couple other guys that are quietly having a nice season. It's going to be an interesting game Saturday night up there, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be. And Tennessee's got to play well to win. Kentucky took care of business last night against an Oklahoma team that I'm not really sure what they're trying to do besides just fill out a roster and fill out a team this year.
That's awful.
But yeah, Kentucky's. I think they've won it. It's like 6 of 7. I think.
Yes.
And they've kind of got some defined roles now. So unfortunately, they're kind of growing into the season too. But Tennessee is as well, and Tennessee's kind of playing as well as they've played all year too. So it should be a fun game. Tennessee needs to just go up there and win. Just it doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter how ugly it is. Go up there and win. It's ridiculous losing to just these kind of average at best Kentucky teams, which it's kind of Pope, the way Pope can space the floor offensively can create some mismatches, and Tennessee gives up some threes there. But I mean, Tennessee's the better team and needs to go handle business because you had it handled here until you got in the foul trouble and just kind of pissed that game away, which still really bothers me.
I was talking to the great Mark Griffin a second ago. We were just comparing how bizarre the series is. Like he was like, when I was in school, you never went up there. And then for the longest time, we never went up there. And now we went up there regularly, and they win down here. They've got like a winning streak in our building. It's a bizarre series. And it's going to go off probably as a pick'em on Saturday. It's going to open as Tennessee, maybe a slight favorite, probably be a pick'em by the time the ball tips. And that is it's just so odd, this series. Matt, I think we're going to win Saturday, which makes no sense when you think about what they did to us on our home floor a month ago.
Well, I mean, Tennessee just had that game won and had a comfortable win if your guards don't get in foul trouble and you don't just start giving up open threes in the second half. But that's what Kentucky kind of has done all year. They've done it earlier that week. They had that comeback where they hit the buzzer beater against LSU that really just turned their season around. So I think Tennessee's the better team, and if Ament gives you 25 plus, I think you're going to be really difficult to beat. But you're going to need Gillespie to play well and stay on the court, and then you're going to need 2 or 3 of your role players to step up and contribute.
This is a night where Gillespie is going to have to play a smart game. Not only play well, but play smart. You got to play smart up there because really you're playing 5-on-8 when you get in their building. They're going to get the calls. You're not. You've got to be able to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. You can't run at everybody out there trying to shoot a 3-ball, or you'll be in foul trouble really quickly. And you can't let them foul grift on you. And Oweh's starting to play better ball, and their backcourt's getting better. And it's going to be a very high-level Southeastern Conference basketball game, I think, because I think we're playing at a high level right now. And somehow this Pope guy is stabilized the ship. Okay, Laura tells me that we've got a Nega Dave on line 1 here. Dave, was great seeing you the other night. I'm sorry it was under those circumstances. I hope all was well with your service and your family's beautiful. And our condolences to you, man. Welcome in. Go ahead and rip the basketball team now.
Well, thank you, Tommy. I appreciate y'all showing up. That meant a lot.
You're awesome, buddy.
But here, the last 6 games were 2-4 against them.
Yep.
And 5 of those 6 games, they've shot well above 40% from 3-point land against us. The 2 wins we have against them, last year in the NCAA tournament, neither team shot well from 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they only took 15 3-pointers, Kentucky. And then 2 years ago, we won up there. We hit 12 threes that game, and they hit 12 threes that game. So we both shot over 40% from 3. So it comes down to this: if they make 10 threes, we're done.
Matt, agree or disagree? If that 3-ball starts going in for them,
agree. Which we can't give up so many open looks, and which I think I saw Kentucky hit 9 threes in the first half last night, so they shot really well, which I think's a good thing because I'm not sure they can do that again. But they shot 50% from 3 in both regular season games last year versus Tennessee. We gave up way too many open looks on those kickouts, and Dave's right. If Kentucky's making threes, they're probably going to win.
Dave, what's your take on Matt's level of knowledge? What do you think of him? Because Sammy yesterday called in here and ripped him, and he rips you too. So, Dave, what do you think of Matt's level of knowledge?
Matt is excellent, and poor Sammy, he's got some really bad takes. But we've all been there. I've had a few.
Sammy, you're like the king of takes. Pat's and Philly is at Gino's as the king of steaks, and Sammy's the king of takes.
But getting back to the game, that's where I see it. To be honest, they don't have a true point guard, but Owe, Chandler,
right. Yep.
and that Aberdeen,
yes,
they're better shooters than our guys.
When they get it going, they are. Like last night, they had the ball on a string last night. And when the ball goes in early like it did for them, Oklahoma's going to be down 20 points rather quickly. And that's exactly what happened. And Matt's right. That Oklahoma team, I don't know what they're trying to do, Matt, with their roster construction. I don't know what they're trying to do with their approach. They don't defend at all. They don't guard at all. That's an embarrassing level of basketball.
Yeah, that's how Porter Moser got that job, was having that elite defense at Loyola. They have Nigel Pack is on their team. Oh. And he was the guy like 3 years ago that Miami went out and bought. And somehow that guy's still playing college basketball, and he's just kind of a guy at Oklahoma. So that was a blast from the past when I heard that name last night.
Nigel Pack.
Well, he's actually their leading scorer, but he had a bad night last night.
I haven't heard that name in forever.
And he's just a hired mercenary. And he can get hot from 3 land.
I remember
he reminds me a lot of that guy that was at Texas A&M the past 5 years. What was that guy, the little guard they had that would get hot and he'd shoot from
Wade Taylor?
Wade Taylor.
Yes, they're very similar size. They can get hot out there and they can hit 30-footer. I mean, they're really similar players.
Hey, shout out Buckyball, by the way. You guys want to crack on Buckyball? Shout out Buckyball. Hell of a game last night with Alabama. No defense at all. But that Buckyball, when they get the ball in the open court, Dave, they attack you down. They get downhill on you rather quickly. They do what we call, me and Jimmy Dykes, NASCAR. They do what you call NASCAR drives. NASCAR.
Don't they remind you of Bruce's first year?
No question. They're wild. Yes. Fun to watch.
Full court pressing, just throwing up threes.
Yep.
And, I mean, he went in the portal and got some guys that, I think he brought some guys from Sanford with him too.
Yes, he did. Sanford's son.
And, I thought they were going to win that game for a while. I really did. And they nearly beat us. I mean, it's pretty impressive what he's done that first year. Now, I don't know if it's sustainable though.
No, but that was a hell of a game last night in Alabama's gym. They pushed them to the rim, my brother.
My gosh, Tony, Alabama gave up almost 100 points last night.
That's what I'm saying. It was NASCAR, but Dave, thank you. It's great seeing you the other day. I love you. On the other side, there's 100% chance. Oh, Larry Vaught. There's 100% chance. We break it down scientifically. There's probably what's the chance, Matt? He picks the Vols in a game. What's your chance there?
Probably 80%.
Yeah.
He'll give Kentucky a slight chance.
Does he Adam Gold us? Does he come in here and shall we say do the howdy and the shake and the quake and the bake and the trying to lull us to sleep? Is that part of his strategy? I'm starting to think that's part of his strategy. I'm starting to think that's part of the man's game. 865-200-5402 if you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us. And in the mix and in the hunt. It's pretty outstanding. 865-200-5402 is the numero do. What do you think, Bri? You think this guy jakes us out and fools around with us and plays games with us? Is that what we have here in Larry Vaught? When he brings the Vaught's views? Let's do a brief timeout. We come back. We'll come back on the other side and commence on your Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, chillins of all ages. Presented by our friends. Say it, know it, and write it down. WeShipFloors.com after this.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Newsflash, Basilio listeners, the spring real estate market just moved up. Yes, it's chilly outside and you're still in your puffy coat, but if you need to sell your East Tennessee property, you could be the hottest house on the block. Hi there. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. February is the sweetheart month of real estate, and savvy sellers know exactly what that means. Get ahead of the game and give me a call at 865-694-5904 or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues. Every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Achillio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
I love my man Larry Vaught. I mean, we break it down scientifically and we talk. We have so much fun with each other. And he's such a good dude, and he's got such a great spirit. And you know, it's a shame he's been in Kentucky Nation all this time. We could use a guy like him in Vol Nation. I love him. He's constantly picking the Vols to win these games. I don't know if he will this time around. I think there's a pretty decent, shall we say, shot at it. Some would say chance. Larry, we were talking off the air. What a difference a month can make for both of these teams. That the last time these two teams played, I'd call it a pretty mid-level game between two kind of, at that point, sort of lost souls is what we both looked like out there. Tennessee started that game so well and then just looked awful. trying to close it out at the end. And you told us, you said, even if Kentucky wins this game, they're just going to prolong their agony. And here both teams went on and have gone on and are streaking right now. Who would have thought that, man?
Certainly not me. Not me at all. I was shocked that Kentucky was able to come back and win the game at Tennessee the way that it did, or that Tennessee lost the game. I'm still not exactly sure which is a better way to put how that game turned out. But Kentucky got the win, and they got shellacked at Vanderbilt, and you think, well, this is just over. Then they go to Arkansas and win, and then they had an impressive win against Oklahoma. The next thing you know, they're sitting here 7-3 in the conference. Their teamwork is a lot better. Their best players are playing much better. They seem to have defined roles. They're sharing the ball much better. Against Oklahoma, they had 5 guys with 3 or more assists. In some games this year, they didn't have 7 assists total, and they had 5 guys with 3 or more against Oklahoma. So, and they are, as you said, it's amazing how when you shoot the ball better, everything looks a lot better. But they're shooting the ball better, I think, because their offense has got a little bit more flow to it, and people understand their roles. I mean, Denzel Aberdeen is not a pass-first point guard. He's a guy that's either going to try to get a shot, or then he's just going to make the simple play. He's not going to make anything out of this world for you, but he has settled into what he can do, and I think learned what he can't do, and that has made Kentucky much better than guys like Jelovic. He's just kind of become a bruiser and a banger, but yet he can step into the corner and hit a couple 3-pointers for you every game. That's changed what they have. Otega Oweh, I think, has now become as consistent or more consistent than any player in the Southeastern Conference. Crazy. He's just getting 20, 20, 20 every game, and his defense has been out of this world for Kentucky. He's playing like a guy you thought could be SEC Player of the Year. So whatever Mark Pope has done, it's worked. They're putting boxing gloves on to start practice a lot of days and pounding those dummies. And I just say just pound them some more because it seems to be working.
You know, here's the other thing too, right? Like it was really sad last night calling that game a Southeastern Conference basketball game, because that had to be one of the worst Southeastern Conference teams you've seen come into Lexington in a while. Just that Oklahoma bunch, we were really marveling at how little has been done there by a coach that was so successful in his last stop. And I know they made the tourney last year, so they had to bring him back this year. But God, Larry, that was awful last night. You talk about zero defense, zero resistance from an opponent. Jeez, man.
Yeah, they have no inside game.
None.
It's just hard. It's just hard to imagine how a team in the Southeastern Conference could be built or recruited to have no inside game at all. In the first half, they just kind of dared Kentucky to shoot the 3-pointers and gave them basically wide open looks at 3-pointers. In the second half, they tried to come out a little bit, and then Kentucky just went inside more or less at will and was able to score. They kind of let down a little bit toward the end, let Oklahoma get back within 8 or 9 or something, went right back out and just put the game right away. But, yeah, Oklahoma is just not a very good team. That's a team you want to play on the road, not at home, I think.
Matt Dixon, jump in here. The great Larry Vaught joins us, and we break it down scientifically with him. He of Vaught's Views. He's been covering Kentucky for long enough to know better, and he also, earlier in the year, kind of thought this season was sort of a road to nowhere, and it felt like it was. Kentucky came back from a double-digit deficit. Really weird season the Cats have had. Double-digit deficit to LSU. As a prelude to their game here, they did the exact same thing with Tennessee. It's rocketed their season, but then they gave up a double-digit lead the game the other day. But then they came back and won in a game that I thought we were going to have like a couple of 2-minute roughing penalties in that, a couple of roughing minors, mix a little NHL with our college basketball, Larry. But Matt Dixon, jump in here with the great Larry Vaught.
Yeah, Larry, it seems like Kentucky has been slow starters all year, but more than that, it seems they just don't get up for a lot of games, but they get up for the big games, like that game at Arkansas and some others last year. Why is it that Mark Pope's teams just are so inconsistent coming out of the gate to start games?
That's been the biggest question in the Bluegrass for 2 years. They've been good enough to come back and win a lot of those games, but man, they just dig themselves such big holes, and that's what's been so impressive about the last 2 games to win at Arkansas. They didn't start slow; they came out on fire and built the big lead. And then last night against Oklahoma, so here's the mentality in Kentucky now. 8 minutes into the game, it was tied, and you feel like Kentucky's ahead because they're not behind by 10 or 12. So by Kentucky standards, they've had 2 games in a row where they have started really well. And I think after the first 8 minutes of the game, Kentucky didn't trail last night, and that's not been the kind of game, no matter who Kentucky has played, that they have had. They've tried to change pregame routine. They've tried to change practice routine. They've put boxing gloves on and practice now. They're beating on dummies to try to get a little bit more physical, a little tougher to start the game. You kind of watch Saturday, one of the things that they are doing, the Jelinek on the first series, no matter whether Kentucky's got the ball, whether the opponent has the ball, he's just going around just knocking people, just bumping into people and knocking, just to kind of show that Kentucky needs to be physical. They're going to play physical. So just kind of watch that early in the game with him just kind of knocking, bumping people around. But that seems to kind of help Kentucky get going. And then Pope has kind of turned Brandon Garrison loose. I don't want to say he's an outlaw or a thug, but he doesn't play dirty. He just talks dirty. He's always talking and doing things like that. And Pope has kind of embraced it and said that's kind of become the emotional leader of the team, which is never what I kind of envisioned that Mark Pope type team would have, a leader or an emotional leader like that. But again, it seems to have kind of helped a little bit. Now, it results in a near brawl every game or gets close to it. But for right now, it's working.
You know, and I like that because, look, they had a flatlining team earlier in the year. That lost to Missouri in their building. They kind of flatlined. Oweh didn't touch the ball in the last 90 seconds, which was crazy. I don't think they had a field goal in the last 4 minutes or something like that. Just,
Right.
It's ridiculous. But now they've got a little edge to them. It seems like the Tennessee game helped them grow into the season. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it seems like that was a huge pivot point for them. You were telling me off the air, you feel like this is another potential pivot point for Kentucky's season. If you could unpack that from your perspective.
Yeah, I really do. I think when they won at Tennessee, I think they thought maybe they'd kind of arrived there, and they went into Vanderbilt thinking, well, we're pretty damn good right now. We've got this figured out. And Sandy showed them they didn't quite have it figured out if they didn't play like they did at the last part of the game at Tennessee and play hard and intense. And to their credit, I thought that was going to maybe just derail the season again. But they came back and won that game at Arkansas by playing so well and so intense right from the start. And they did a pretty good job of that again last night. So I think they have kind of learned that, we can't just talk it. We've got to go out and do it. And so now here's a chance to prove for the third game in a row that you can go out at the beginning of the game, play with some intensity, make some shots, and be able to stay in a game early with a really good team, and then be able to pull away and hopefully win the game. If they suddenly are behind by 13 points with 8 minutes to go in the first half, then you wonder, is this kind of this false confidence they got? Is it just going to go away? Everything that they thought they built, is it not built that way? And also, this is a game I think they can show, okay, if what we've got going, here it is. Bring on Florida twice. Bring on Vandy again. Bring on Auburn. But if Tennessee comes up here, smacks them in the mouth and says, we're going to pay you back, we should have never lost that first game, and puts it on Kentucky, then that confidence, I think, may run away in a hurry.
And isn't that an interesting thing? Because Tennessee had a difficult schedule after the Kentucky game and kind of took their lumps, and we were sort of going, oh, boy, this is going to be rough here. Kentucky's in a similar boat now. They've got what should be for them, from their perspective, a winnable game in their building. Really, you shouldn't lose in your building in this league if you're an NCAA tournament team. You should be nearly impossible to beat in your building because it's hard to win on the road for anybody in this league. But your message is Kentucky's got a very difficult stretch coming up, whereas for Tennessee, the schedule really loosens up. Now that we're in the month of November, the schedule's loose here for a few weeks, or lighter, I should say. You can't count anything, but by the same token, Kentucky really, from your perspective, this is like a must-win if they want to get in the upper stratosphere, yes?
Yeah, I think so. This is the game where that you can prove that everything we've been doing and talking about for the last week or so, and that including that game at Tennessee, this is who we are. That game at Vanderbilt was just a fluke. Throw that one away. This is who we are. We know Tennessee's coming loaded for bear. They want to prove that win that Kentucky got was a fluke down there and should have never happened. You said the Vols are on a pretty good roll right now. This is a chance for Kentucky to show that they can man up, be tough, play inside, make shots, and win a game that they, I think, really need to win. Because they do that, then suddenly their NCAA tournament resume is looking pretty good again.
Totally agree. Hey, Matt, here's a great question that the great Hewitt Pruitt brings up, or a great point. I think one of the things the Cats are going to try and do with Tennessee is they're going to try and get Gillespie in foul trouble, however they can do it. And that's a concern of mine up there, that he's a little wild, Matt, in that game. Do you think that's a founded concern for me?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happened in the first game in Boswell as well, especially guarding Oweh, because Oweh especially can attack the rim and kind of a slasher. Aberdeen's more of a shooter, but can still penetrate at times. So yeah, if they can get Tennessee's guards in foul trouble, that's where Tennessee just doesn't have veteran depth. They have a couple of freshmen that show promise, but it's not a spot you really want to throw them out there and ask them to give you 15 or so minutes with your veterans in foul trouble, because that's the one reason Kentucky came back in the first game. Is you got those guards in foul trouble, and Barnes set them for that first half and let Kentucky get back in the game. So yeah, that is a concern. You can't pick up those stupid fouls, fouling the 3-point shooters, or just the nonsense stuff. You can't afford to do that with a guy like Gillespie.
And the thing about this Pope guy, Larry, in a year and a half that I've come to appreciate from him, is he's proven to be not a one-size-fits-all coach. He's not afraid to try different approaches. Now, some people would say that's proof he doesn't know what he's doing and they're flailing. I kind of like a coach who says, hey, it doesn't have to be my way or the highway. I'll try several ways to unlock a team. It took them a decent amount of time last year to get in the groove, and they did at the end of the year. And it feels like he's sort of found it with this team as well.
Yeah, I think he tried to talk himself into believing this is going to be a really good 3-point shooting team, because he just hammered that away over the summer. It's almost like if he kept saying it, it was going to come true. And then I think he finally slowly had to realize that's probably not going to be the case. And then point guard gets hurt, and then he's maybe out, then he's coming back, then he's out, and so that didn't help the situation. And then you keep thinking Jaden Quainton says he's going to be back the 1st of October. Doctors say he's going to be back in November. Then it's December, and he plays a few games. Then boom! I mean, he's gone. I think everybody knew when that knee acted back up that he was done for the season. And then you get Cam Williams kind of going, and he breaks his foot running back down the court. One of the weirdest things I've ever seen. And so he's had to readjust how they play and they're a much better defensive team than they were when the season started and what they were last year. They're not a great defensive team, but they're at least to the point they don't give up 100 points on a regular basis, or 96 or something like what they were doing way too many times. And they have learned, I think, as a team, who the stars are and to let them be stars. And that means, like you say, don't go the last 4 minutes against Missouri when you need to score and forget that Otega Oweh is your guy. And they've let Oweh kind of be the guy and let him dictate what happens. And he's done a good job. He's been very efficient with his scoring. I mean, he's not getting 24 points on 7 for 23 shooting or something like that. His shot selection's been good, and he's still got a pretty good high number of assists. And on the defensive end, he's been really, really good. I'm anxious to see who Kentucky is going to put him on to open the game, because the last couple of games he's shut down who, as well as what you can, who he's gone up against, and that's made a big difference for Kentucky.
Conversely, Rick Barnes at the Kentucky press conference afterwards said, that's the last time we're ever not going to use our 5-star freshman and we're going to play through him, and he's going to get more touches down the stretch. And that's exactly what the Vols have done since they last saw Kentucky. They have taken Ament, and they will give you an amen and an hallelujah. He scored 20 points in 7 consecutive games, 20 points plus. He had 28 the other night after only having 2 at the half. He put on a show in the second half. And Larry, the guy is like, I cannot wait to see him perform in this spot on the road against a team that's going to do some different things to him, to play some head games with him. Another guy from the Cats I like is this Moreno kid, this freshman. He's a nice ball player, man.
Yeah, and he's way above what anybody would have thought this year, because you thought Jaden Clayton was going to be there, and you never dreamed Moreno would get as much time as what he has. But he's been really good. Now, the last couple of games, Brandon Garrison has played more, and that's cut into Moreno's time a little bit. But when he's in there, he's a solid defender. He's not going to take crazy shots. He's a pretty good passer. He runs the floor really well, which makes the other team have to run the floor with him, and kind of changes the things. So he could be the kind of guy in a game like Saturday, could be kind of that guy you're not thinking maybe he's going to do a whole lot, and he could. Or they may bring Garrison in. If Garrison's playing well, Moreno may not get the 10 or 11 minutes. So, but either way, when he does play, he's been very good for him, far better than I think anybody expected this year.
Both coaches have learned. Both teams are using their best players. Both teams feel like they're starting to gel. Feels like we've got a high-level basketball game compared to that last one, Larry. You know, you never know, but it feels like this one could be a really great basketball game.
Yeah, so I guess you're probably telling me you don't think Rick Barnes is going to let his team shoot 45 three-pointers this game.
Yeah, I do not.
Okay. Well, Kentucky fans could just kind of hope. He let it happen once before and let Kentucky get a win. I thought they had no chance to get, but if he plays the way that I think it's going to, I'm like you. I think this is going to be a really – last game was a close game, but it was a weird game because it was only close at the end. I think this game could be kind of one of those knock 'em, rock 'em, sock 'em games from start to finish.
Guys, the undercard of this game is a game that's probably going to hold up our tip time, which really urinates me off. And that's this stupid Duke, North Carolina, made for TV, shoved down your throat nonsense. Matt, in what world is Duke and North Carolina on par with some of the other great rivalries in sports, the Red Sox, Yankees, etc., Matt? When did this become a thing, Matt Dixon? And is it in your world? Do you consider this some great rivalry that you can't miss when those two teams play?
In college basketball terms, I think it is. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure it's quite on the level of some of the others. But I mean, it's a great college basketball rivalry, and I appreciate it and try to watch it. So it's been the undercard to Tennessee, Kentucky, I think 2 or 3 of the past couple of years in a row, which is kind of interesting.
Larry, I find it gross, don't you? The Duke, North Carolina thing. I just don't. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think what Matt said is one of the reasons I don't like it. It seems like for the last 3, 4, 5 years, it's been before a Kentucky-Tennessee game, and the Duke-North Carolina game always takes 2.5 hours. The TV folks always schedule it for 2 hours, knowing there's not a chance in France it's going to be over. So you either get the delayed tip time for Kentucky-Tennessee, or folks at home miss the half of the first half because it's not on. And so I just don't understand who thinks you can play a game in 2 hours. You would think at ESPN they've got to be smarter than that, or else they just don't care, I guess.
They don't care. You have an 8:30 tip time, probably going to tip off around 8:50 local time. And so you're dealing with a 9 o'clock Eastern time. They don't care if there's 6 inches of snow on the ground. They're going to play the game. They don't care. I mean, they literally do not care. But listen, I love you. I appreciate you. You're incredible. You always call the shot on here one way or the other. Now, here's a strange thing about this series is that Tennessee can't buy a win in Knoxville. And they're winning with a decent amount of frequency in Kentucky's building under Rick Barnes. It is the bizarro. We're like in bizarro world in this series. And just when you think you have it figured out, something strange happens. So, and the game's probably going to go off as a pick'em, I think, or something close to that. What do you think, Larry Vaught?
Well, my head tells me go ahead and pick Tennessee just because of like what you said. It seems like Kentucky has been winning in Knoxville and Tennessee's been winning in Lexington. But I'm going to let the heart and what you said that you've got to be able to win your home games.
Yeah.
I'm going to let that sway me a little bit and go ahead and pick that. I think Kentucky will find a way to win this one. I think that they have been, this is one they understand what's at stake. I think Pope does a good job, as you said, with strategy. And I think Kentucky is shooting the ball with confidence right now. So we'll see if they can still shoot it with confidence against Tennessee or not. But I really think I didn't think this the first game, but I do think now, I think Otega Oweh will be the best player on the floor. I don't think he'll be the best pro player on the floor, but I think for right now, even as well as Amen is playing, I think Otega is still the best player on both ends of the floor. And I think at the end, maybe that'll be enough to make a difference for Kentucky.
He's moving and grooving, no doubt about it, man. And that's what I want. I like seeing these heavy rivalry games play, high-level games, when the star. That's when this series has been at its best down through the years. And I want to see the star. And for both coaches, since they played this game, let's repeat this one more time, Larry, because it's true. For both coaches, they decided we're not going out like that. We're not going down like that. We're going to give our stars the ball and let our stars star. And I think it makes the game better.
Me too. And I hope whoever's officiating the game understands that, and we don't get a couple of ticky-tack fouls on Gillespie and Oweh in the first 6 minutes of the game or something.
Get the hell out of the way. It's so frustrating. It's these foul fest games that sometimes we see in the SEC are so bad, Larry. They're so bad.
Makes you want to turn it off.
Oh, it's awful. You're my guy. Vaught's Views, tell them how they can find you. You're the man.
Well, you can follow me on my website at vaughtsviews.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at vaughtsviews.
Thank you, my man. Love you.
All right.
Matt, who hates more whom? Who hates more more? Question for me. Ready? Somebody asks here. Does Tony hate Duke more or Matt hate Kentucky more? We need a hate-off between those two guys. Where are you, Matt? My hatred level? Because I am so over already this North Carolina Duke buildup. When the Tennessee-Kentucky game is going to be a more compelling, higher-level basketball game on Saturday night than that fake, fraudulent, Tobacco Road, media-created nonsense. And that's what it is.
I think a lot of your hatred was towards Coach K more than it was actually Duke.
Good point.
And I mean, I don't think you hate Duke football or anything like that.
No,
I probably win that one. It's very unhealthy, my hatred for Kentucky and everything Kentucky.
Poor Matt sits there and watches like Kentucky gymnastics and cheers for like a girl when she's doing the floor routine to like land on her neck. I mean, it goes deep with Matt. Matt's a hater. But on the other side, proving that God has a sense of humor. He might be back. Get your turban ready. Get your turban out. The Turbinator might be returning to college football. We'll tell you about it. Dangling his participles. Doubling his negatives. Butchering his syntax. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Don the Snake Prudhomme dragster, Harry Gant. He might just be back after all. The SCO Bandit. We'll tell you about it as we continue after this.
When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gufon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gufon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gufon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gufon.com. That's Gufon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gufon Moving and Storage.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is here. Is your heating system ready and running efficiently? Don't wait to find out. A simple tune-up now can help prevent costly breakdowns when you need your heat the most. Right now, Pipe Wrench is offering a $79 heating system tune-up to keep your home warm, safe, and worry-free all winter long. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune every part of your heating system for maximum efficiency and comfort, helping you avoid surprise breakdowns and high energy bills. And with Pipe Wrench Home Service's same-day service guarantee, you won't be left out in the cold waiting for help. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Schedule your $79 heating system tune-up today at pipewrench.com before winter decides to test your heater. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. For standard systems only, visit pipewrench.com for details.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 SuperCore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Living Vol fan, when it's time to get ready for 2026 and what's ahead, there's only one place. It's Alumni Hall, the best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands, Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. And check this out. All the basketball stuff that the Tennessee basketball fan could ever need. Some great Tennessee baseball stuff as well. Any season, any reason. Alumni Hall, 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Murfreesboro, Bristol, and now open, of course, in Johnson City. And anytime online, alumnihall.com. Say it loud, say it proud. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka, and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Bradley's and your Tony Basilio Show are a Knoxville tradition. And these days, just like Tony B's show is taking off like a rocket ship, so have my friends at Bradley's. Sure, they still have all the delicious chocolate you're used to, like the chocolate-covered popcorn and the assortment boxes. They're now called Bradley's Gift and Home, and they have so much more than chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home has all kinds of amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. Guys, trust me, as Basilio would say, Bradley's Gift and Home have taken it to the next level. And remember, Bradley's will have freshly dipped chocolate-covered strawberries in milk and white chocolate at both of their locations, 141 North Peters Road and 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available February 13th and 14th. See you at Bradley's Bradley's Gift and Home.
That's right.
See our website, shopbradleys.com.
That's right. That's right. We welcome you back, 865-200-5402. My name's Basilio. I'm with you today, breaking it down scientifically in a cold Raymere studio. It snowed here overnight. We would be doing school closings right about now, but we've been so battered through this, and so many people have been through so much that I'm not going to joke about things like that. But we have a lot to talk about here, including the fact that it looks like Joey Aguilar is getting ready to be cleared for takeoff. Marcos Garza was on with us yesterday. It was great. And basically the way this is done, and Matt, we were talking during the timeout, I think Tennessee looked at that Bediako thing and they said, you know what? That's a way to do this. You get your money for nothing, your chicks for free, and you settle this thing in local courts. And they looked at it and they said, let's play a home game. Why in the world are we in Diego Pavia's lawsuit when we just go to a local court, get a T to the R to the O, which, by the way, I've got some old, not that you care about this, but that was an old syndicator of radio shows back in the day, TRO. I've got some great live shows in my collection, some TRO shows. Not to mention some of the great King Biscuit Flower Hours. Those of you who know what I'm talking about back in the day. But I digress. Back to the task at hand, which is we're just going to play a home game. And when we play a home game, we get this thing before a judge. And they rewrote the law in the state of Tennessee. If you look in the blog today, Marcos explains it perfectly. And in plain language, we can all understand. But the takeaway is when they rewrote that law with NIL in mind. And they put the language in there that's just so, it's going to be so hard for the NCAA to overcome. And as Adam Sparks pointed out, the attorney arguing on behalf of the NCAA is a Tennessee graduate. And Marco said, the quality attorney, he said, I can't wait to see what his argument is, because surely the NCAA in this case will have no leg to stand on. And then I look to the south of us, and I see yesterday that we saw a deal where Trinidad Chambliss got slapped down by the NCAA. Guess what Trinidad Chambliss is going to do? As we heard the other day, our friend from Ole Miss came in here and said, oh, yeah, he's going to go to a local court too. That's where that's going to go. And he's going to get a TRO. That's local. Here's the deal with the NCAA. They would not govern themselves. They would not figure this thing out on their own. The Supreme Court several years ago opened up the Pandora's box. And this is where we are. And this is the deal. And this is the moment we're in. And it's total anarchy. And Tennessee looked at that, I believe this, the Bediako case, and they said, you need to go get Tom Mars as your attorney. And we'll make you a $2 million offer. We'll put it on paper for you and your representation. You can show damages. And the hope is, in a weird way, you wouldn't think this, but in a weird way, as Marcos explained to us, the NCAA got a 1-week reprieve. Instead of having the hearing tomorrow, they're going to have it a week from tomorrow on the 13th. And lo and behold, that's a break for the Vols. Marco said what you want to happen from here is hopefully Judge Haggerty will take several weeks before issuing his ruling. Because while he's issuing his ruling, Joey Aguilar is free to do team-oriented things. Now, Joey Aguilar is going to need a lot of treatment on his arm. Joey Aguilar will not be practicing with the team. He'll be out there and he'll be doing, team-oriented stuff, but he's not going to be throwing the ball in practice. And if he does, it's going to be very limited because he's going to need treatment into the summer, late spring into the summer. He's had a surgery, and a significant surgery. And as Watson Brown says, that's almost perfect for you because you know what he can do. So this gives you an opportunity to keep the wheels on the two kids, and it gives you an opportunity to sell to one or both of them that, hey, you can win this job. And I want Matt Dixon and Brian to respond to that, and I want you to respond to that. And then I got something else to throw into the mix that proves God has a sense of humor. But it's hour 2. Let me keep it live, legal, large, and in charge on the show they record.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fanrun Radio.
Every day is a lovely day to spend a day with you. We got another hour together. Another hour of power. John Bryce reporting today. And then, Matt, I want to come to you on your thoughts on all this stuff that's going on. Now we're playing home games in local courts. And they figured it out. Tennessee figured it out. Alabama figured it out. I don't know what Ole Miss's law is. I don't know how the latitude given there with Chambliss, but we'll talk about it. John Bryce. Sources tell Football Scoop, that's who Bryce works for, that Maryland at Terps football program and head coach Mike Loxley are targeting at Vol football head coach Jeremy Pruitt for a defensive assistant position. And I do this, look. I say, let Pruitt coach. Can I get an amen from you, Matt, and an amen from you, Brian? I'm glad to see Jeremy Pruitt come back to college football. How about it, guys?
Sure. There's something endearing about him. He's like the first head coach that didn't get his buyout, and which is just crazy. So, yeah, let him be a coach. Just about everything he did would be kind of legal now or legal in a way. So, yeah. And I will say that the moment Pruitt gets hired to be a real coach in college football again, whatever fake probation Danny White claims Tennessee's on is over, because Tennessee can't be on probation when the guy who got a show cause for all that is able to coach again. Now, we all know that probation doesn't really mean anything to anybody but Danny White, but that probation thing is over the moment Pruitt gets hired somewhere.
God, what a great tie that is, Matt. I'd never even considered tying those two things together. Brian, I say let the Turbinator eat and let him eat some asparagus. I'm for it, not against it, Brian. How about you?
Well, I'm just trying to think about the potential culture shock with living in the D.C. area, and I think he coached, maybe did something with the Giants for 1 year, but
he was up there. He was up there.
Hear Jeremy Pruitt talk. That'll be interesting.
He was up there with Freddie Kitchens. They were taking the Metro together, and they were up there taking the subway together. Can you imagine? I would have thought that Freddie Kitchens and Pruitt and those Bammers up there in New York, Matt, would have been a great, and I mean a great reality show.
Yeah, there's that picture of them at like a Yankees game.
Yes.
Just incredible. Yes. You think Pruitt knows what Maryland crab cakes are?
I like crab cakes.
Hopefully he's their interim head coach when Loxley gets fired like 8 games into the season.
I like crab cakes. So Jeremy Pruitt on his way. I just want to say that Matt's declaring our probation over if, in fact, Maryland can land the plane with the Turbinator. Because history books will talk about that COVID season. But one thing I will always remember about that COVID year was Jeremy Pruitt taking that, whatever you call that thing that he had around which was supposed to be covering his mouth, and put that thing up on the top of his head. And he looked like, and I don't know how to say this without being politically incorrect, but he looked like the only Middle Eastern born college football coach in the history of college football. It looked like Saeed Tariq Farouk coaching college football, man. How next level did he look with that thing up on his head?
I mean, he's the only person I've ever seen wear something like that to try to prevent COVID. Just incredible.
And he had it on backwards. Like it was like, I don't know. He looked like, it was almost like the way, the rapper that made California Love. Why am I forgetting his? Tupac Shakur. It's almost like the way he used to wear his bandana up on his head. I don't know what Pruitt was going for, the look he was going for, but God, he was so next. You really think I'm next level? Yeah, I really think you're next level. I'm glad he's back. I think he's a pretty good coach too. And I'll tell you another thing about him. The guy knew talent. The guy left Josh Heupel a pretty good football team, it turns out.
He'd have a role on any staff except the head coach. He should never, ever be a head coach.
No.
But he could be anything else.
I like him. So color me excited for the Pruitt. In fact, I want to do this. Let's laugh a little. Give me a couple favorite memories or your favorite memory of Pruitt. Make me giggle. And I want to give the Bradley's chocolate covered strawberries away. They're in milk and white chocolate. They're available on the 13th and 14th. Of course, Bradley's is not Brad, because Brad, I gotta keep peace, joy with joy here, and the famiglia. But Bradley's, as we say, Bradley's Gift and Home. But they have 2 locations now. All the treats you want. So much more than just chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home, all kinds of amazing curated gifts. As Jeremy Pruitt would say, they got jewelry. They got candles and other for her gift items. Keep you from having to go anywhere else. So make it be your one-stop shop. Bradley's Gift and Home. Check out the website, shopbradleys.com. And I want to give a box of chocolate-covered strawberries away. If you can give me your favorite, just Pruitt era, something that makes you laugh and giggle when you think back to it. Matt, why don't you shoot? What's your favorite Pruitt era Pruittism?
Oh gosh.
What comes to mind?
When he told that cop to do his civic duty on that body cam, when I guess it was when Jeremy Banks got arrested for driving with a suspended license.
Banks, wow.
And he basically told him this stuff doesn't go on where I've been. But he told the officer to do his civic duty. That was pretty funny.
He goes, really? He goes, really? We gonna do this? We don't do that. We gonna do this. We gonna do this. Brian, you have something for the Pruitt era that stands out to you?
I like when he fired the assistant coach. I think it was the defensive line coach. Literally at halftime, when that unit actually had been one of the better performing units that he had, and he fired him during halftime of the Kentucky game.
He came out post game and he's like, Jimmy Brumbaugh, he's no longer with us. Jimmy Brumbaugh. I mean, it was just so great. So great. So great. So great. We'll go to the phones. 865-200-5402. And then, Matt, what about these teams now playing home games in their local courts? And Marcos told us yesterday that what you want from a Tennessee perspective is Judge Haggerty to take several weeks before issuing his ruling, which is going to be, barring an upset by the NCAA, it'll be an upset. Because the Vols are up 14 right now. They're like a 14-point favorite heading into next Friday's festivities. But you want this thing to go several weeks, and that will give the NCAA less time for their appeal in a federal court, at which point, even if the NCAA says to the federal court, hey, we really need you to speed this thing up, they move at their own time, Marco says. They're not worried about doing the NCAA's bidding. So he thinks you should be able to play beat the clock, especially if it can get out to several weeks into the middle of the spring, maybe. What's your take on all this, Matt?
Yeah, well, I mean, Marcos kind of went into detail yesterday, but the NCAA just has no legal argument in local courts and with state laws. So, when you go this route, the NCAA's kind of, their hands are tied. The Bediako thing was a great example of that, and just how absurd that was that he came back. So, yeah, if you can, just kind of delay the game a little bit and keep it and get Aguilar through December, that's really all you need for this. And that seems like that's what's going to happen. So, it's all just the fact that there's just no rules and stuff like this can happen. And it's just hard to have an opinion on it, really.
So Cinco said yesterday.
It's just so absurd and stupid. And I mean, the Bediako thing was about as ridiculous as it can get. But I mean, if you're Tennessee, I mean, why stop with Aguilar? Just bring Hendon Hooker back if we're gonna do this. I mean, I think he played the last year Bediako did. I mean, he's not. It doesn't seem like he has much of a pro future. Bring Hendon Hooker back. If you're gonna bring the quarterback back.
Lawsuits now mentions Ethan Berg and Masamba about how well they were professionals. Why is European professionals any different than American professionals?
It's a good point. And if that's the case, Brian, and you can make that case in a local court, then why can't I come back? Hey, there's a guy right now who played about 50 games in the NBA that is trying to come back to college ball. You know what I think is going to happen? He's going to go to a local court. He's going to get a TRO, and he's going to end up on a basketball floor. And a couple of years ago, I told you that this was going to happen. I call them bounce back players. That's my coin. I've turned current two terms here, bounce backs. And the other term I'm coining is unprofessional sports. Because nothing about this era of major college sports is professional. It's not a professional relationship that these universities have with their ticket buyers. It's totally unprofessional. What they ask of ticket buyers now with these surcharges and these surtaxes. It's a completely unprofessional relationship between the fan and the student, quote unquote, student athlete, who are literally now rental players in a pickup term, in loosely affiliated teams, in loosely affiliated conferences governed by suits. That's all they are. This guy that's at the SEC is one of the most overrated windbags in sports. But truly, what's he going to do? It's like Dabo Swinney's up there the other day going, well, we sent it to the commissioner of the SEC. Good luck. What happened in your league, Dabo, when Miami flexed right on Duke and took a quarterback that was under contract from them? And I told you that was going to happen. And I'm no genius, if you listen to me. Until these guys get down to brass tacks, both sides, and I'm starting to think the players don't want it. But until why would the players want it? You got they forever they were in a modern day slavery system where their rights were owned. They had no recourse. If they went and sought a transfer, they had coaches threatening them. And that's what happened. And you had to sit out a year. So injurious to them. And now it's a total anarchy. And it makes no sense. And it's unprofessional sports. And it takes till this time of the year in basketball for this to look like college basketball. Have you noticed that, Matt? How now all of a sudden college basketball, you get to the latter part of January, early February, and now it looks like these teams have some cohesion to them. That's what's happened here, there, and everywhere. We have to acknowledge that. This is the era we're in. We look like a cohesive basketball team all of a sudden.
In Kentucky, the same way.
Same way. Yeah, it's real basketball.
They're just sort of
now.
both kind of streaking and peaking together.
Yep. And so if you're paying the full price, which you are, for those early season games, you're just watching elevated pickup basketball until about mid-January. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Because a guy like Barnes, smart guy, and his staff said, we're not going out like this. We're handing the ball to Nate Ament. We paid him $4 million, and he is going to captain our ship. Ride, Captain, ride upon this mystery ship. So we'll go to the phones. I want to hear from you. Give me a couple of funny Pruitt memories, anything that comes to mind. Or it can be in the aftermath. It can be anything related to Jeremy Pruitt. Make me laugh at Pruitt. Let's add a little mirth, a layer of mirth to this thing. And then the other question becomes, and I want your opinion on this. This Aguilar thing, I mean, I could be wrong here, but I think this adds pressure to Heupel if he becomes eligible. Because all of a sudden you have a real expectation on your season. And I just want to remind you one more time, you're not playing the 2025 schedule in 2026. To say the SEC's, people are like, why, Tony? Because it's just one more game. That's no. It's not even apples to oranges. It's like apples to, I don't know, magic mushrooms. I mean, it's just not a comparison. But we'll go to the phones. Get as many people in here. 865-200-5402. Matt, do you think adding a Aguilar for this year will increase the pressure on our head coach from fan expectation point?
Not really. I think the expectations are going to be high regardless. Maybe they would have been more unrealistic without him, but no, I think they're kind of the same. I mean, want to be kind of in the hunt for the playoffs come November and get into a scenario where you can play your way in with a game or two down the stretch. So I think you can be that with and maybe even without Aguilar, but I think Aguilar gives you the best chance to make the playoffs this year. Definitely gives you the best chance to beat Texas there early in the season. So I just don't see the downside that you do, Tone. I mean, besides the projecting ahead to 2027, but that's just so far in the future that I don't really see a point of trying to look ahead that far.
Yeah, that's kind of my.
I mean, he makes your team better this year.
Yes,
so
he does.
I don't know why that would put heat on him for that. Like he's
because he makes your team better.
Team a chance to win.
Yeah, because now fans will look at it and go, "Oh, you don't have a kid at quarterback. You have the guy that put up the great numbers last year, and you've added all these defensive players, and you better go 10-2 or you suck. Because if you go 8-4 again, which is a distinct possibility, by the way, then all of a sudden people are looking at the head coach going, "What in the hell are we paying this guy this money for?" Because that's what's going to happen if you have Aguilar as your quarterback.
I think they view Heupel the same way, regardless of if the season plays out, how it plays out. I don't think Aguilar being the quarterback changes much of that.
Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You are on our Thursday edition.
Tony B, Matt Diskin, Zach at E-Town.
Hey, Zachy.
Well, Johnson City, where we got some more snow.
Never-ending winter. The never-ending winter here, man.
Yeah, it's like Fargo.
Sure.
It's like that movie Fargo, which was on TV last night. These aren't direct Pruitt quotes, but I remember an article, I don't know if John Adams wrote it, about during all the recruiting scandals where I think he had an assistant that she wanted, that one of the recruits was asking for a tuxedo because the guy wanted to, was going to leave school early to come to UT for the winter. You know how they and the kid wanted a tuxedo, and I think her name was something Boone or something like that. And then there was another one where they wanted a room for one of the recruits' friends, and she said, "Homeboy can sleep on the floor."
Because when the stuff came out and we got like the some of the, what do you call it, like the texts and the things like that, you know, you get in Discovery and these media people, "Homeboy can sleep on the floor." That's pretty good, Zach. I like that. You making me laugh today.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, I can almost see Pruitt saying, "Tell him just to, lay in a cot," and then maybe Boone, I think was a young lady. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was a while ago, but I just remember "Homeboy can sleep on the floor," one of the all-time classic quotes. I also wanted to bring up just 2 quick points. I'm glad Larry Vaught picked the Cats to win that, because he always comes in and sandbags. And this time, I'm glad he was finally honest, because now I think we have a chance, Tony. The other thing is that the other night at the Mississippi game, I didn't get a chance to tell you guys this, and Danny White, this is for you, big boy, on the garage behind the administration building where everyone goes into the gate, where you have to go through the wand and the whole TSA type screening. There is a puddle of water that formed, and it started raining, and it was cold, and it was like 6 inches deep, and people were sloshing through that thing. It was up to your ankles. And somebody said, "Man, this is crazy." I was like, "Yeah, it's like Danny White's lake," because it's just initiating you with cold ice water on your shoes. And I said, "Yeah, be careful. Danny might charge you a permit to go to walk through it or go swimming in it if he finds out about this this puddle." It was just, I can't believe it, and it's all over the top part of the garage.
Zach, I don't care if it's been drier than the darn Sahara Desert. There's going to be a puddle somewhere on that where you're talking about. There's always a puddle there.
Always.
I don't care if it's been raining.
Always.
I don't know how that happens. I don't know how they manage that, but it's stupid.
Hey, Brian, middle of July, you will get runoff from the air conditioners there, and it's going to form a puddle right in that spot at the base of that arena that Zach's talking about. And Zach, by the way, I'm really thinking about, you ought to join me. I'm thinking about starting a side project in music called Danny and the Lanyards, and putting out a bunch of greed music, like songs about greed and getting into your pocketbook. And
that puddle was there long before Danny White, by the way.
That puddle,
Danny
White doesn't care.
As long as you have a premium gate, he doesn't care. That's exactly right, Matt.
Right. Yeah. See, I'm not going in the premium gate. Danny could. Do you think one of our songs could be, "You only give," or "You never give me enough money, but I'll give you a nice lanyard"? We could do that for sure.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Danny. Thank you, Zach. In E-Town, I would call him Danny. My brain is. Let's go back to our phones. 865-200-5402. If you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us. Also, Matt, we're going to start our YouTube chat. We're going to do once a week here. I don't know how we're going to structure it, but we're going to call it the Lieutenant's Lounge, Matt. Laura came up with that name. Your thoughts on that? The Lieutenant's Lounge.
I like it. That'd be fun.
Where we chew it up. Where we just come in and hang out on a weekly basis and chew it up with you. But shout out to Jeremy Pruitt. Do you guys remember that? Let homeboy sleep on the floor, or sleep on a cot, or whatever he said. Do you guys remember what he's talking about? One of those texts we saw.
Was that in Adam Sparks when he was recounting every instance of that?
Probably.
He was documenting it?
Probably.
I don't remember that one.
Mm-hmm. Pretty fun.
There were a whole bunch of hidden gems and that stuff that Adam got a hold of and released.
Oh, yeah. Well, the stuff that happens around here, like, what was the kid that was a total fraud that everybody thought was just the cat's meow and he was a complete...
J.J. Peterson?
No. Think about last summer. And then Adam uncovered that Tennessee was paying that kid a fee to be a consultant to our head football coach. What's the guy's name?
Grant
Thank you.
Freaking something like that.
Things happen around here that you just cannot make up. You just can't make them up. And that's why we need a Lieutenant's Lounge. Just to hang out and break it down scientifically. So look for the Lieutenant's Lounge. Let's go back to our phones. Brian, what's the get-in for the Kentucky game?
I saw on this one place where it was $134 to get in.
Ain't bad. What's the get-in for the North Carolina game?
I didn't. It just showed the SEC games.
Mark in the Colombo says, do I get
Let me look that up.
Lieutenant Mark from Colombo says, do I get royalties on the Lieutenant Lounge? I don't know. Do you? I mean, I guess you could always file suit. I don't plan on sharing any of the proceeds from the Lieutenant's Lounge with you. Where do you think J.J. Peterson is these days? You think he's still playing for Rush Probst somewhere?
Hey, Tone.
Yeah.
You asked $549 to get in to
Told
Duke,
you.
North Carolina.
Total fraudulent game. Fraud.
My God.
Fraud. Where's the
That's
game?
double Alabama-Auburn.
Where's the game being played?
It's at North Carolina in Chapel Hill.
Total fraud game. Hello and welcome.
Which seats more people, by the way.
20,000 seat. Yeah, it's an aircraft carrier. Totally fraudulent basketball game. Only a $500 get in. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tone, it's Tom from Lexington, Kentucky, behind enemy lines.
Tom, good to talk to you, man.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you too. Interesting conversation going on. I think my favorite thing about the Pruitt era is not as humorous, but it's when he earholed Garantano. When Garantano lined up against Alabama for that QB sneak and fumbled the ball and got back to the sideline.
He snapped, didn't he? Every once in a while, Pruitt would go off his meds and freak. And, boy, he freaked on him. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Didn't Garantano do something that wasn't called? Like he called his own number and there was a different blocking scheme, Matt? Is that what occurred there? Or am I imagining that?
Yeah, there was a different blocking scheme. They were at the goal line, and he tried a QB sneak that went the opposite way of the blocking and ended up fumbling, and it was like a 99-yard fumble return for a touchdown.
Let's freaking go, man.
I mean, after his first year, Pruitt really calmed down on the sidelines, except when he was playing Alabama or Auburn.
My take on Pruitt was, and I don't know to prove this, but he seemed kind of medicated after that first year. Because I remember that year, his second year is when the Georgia State game happened, right? And he just sat over there like in almost like a flatline state. It's like, where is this guy? What are we doing here? We're losing to Georgia State. You should be freaking out right now.
Well, and we traditionally get bad calls against Alabama.
Yeah.
But the officials just really put the screws to us every time we played them with Pruitt. Just weird anomalies kept happening in those games. So he finally got a taste of what it was like on the other side.
Yep. Totally agree.
So on the Joey thing, I just feel like we're making such a big deal out of this, but we're paying the kid $2 million. We've got an expensive quarterback room already, but it's a value for what we're getting. The only caveat that I would add to this is that we just need to play the best quarterback. So if Faison comes in and he's an athletic freak that can throw the ball, or if GMAC puts the weight on, then let's have a real competition. And then the only other thing I would add is that we better not be, if we bring Joey back, we better not be shopping in the portal for a QB for 27. That's the only thing that I will say. Then I will finally admit that we've got some really serious issues at the talent eval level for quarterbacks.
Or if you think that gives you the best chance to win, you have to shop in the portal, right?
Well, again, but how? Then you have to stop recruiting these high school quarterbacks.
Correct. I agree with that.
It's got to go one way or the other. It's so interesting to watch how we adapt to all this.
Yep.
But I would also say that it gives you the best chance to win. And you as much as I agree with you 100%, Tony. I would love for us just to play a freshman and build for 27. But I don't know how you do that and hold the locker room together at the same time. Because then it ends up looking like that 2020 COVID year when everybody was told the season doesn't really count.
Essentially, I'm punting on a year. Yeah, versus what you're talking about, which is, and Tom, you bring up a great point, and I made this point today in the blog. Look, if Brandon comes out, and here's the thing about our fan base right now, our fan base is very gun shy with these quarterbacks, and rightfully so, because our head coach is kind of, since he's been here, he doesn't know what he's looking at quarterback. I don't quite understand that. I think none of us do. Aguilar was a better player than Nico, which made no sense. But he was a better player right away. I don't know if he would have been better in year 2 because Nico looked like he grew into being more of a runner and more athletic, but who the heck knows? To your point, the thing that's good about this scenario and the thing that I'm warming up to is the concept that you get a really good look at both of these kids, a really long look at both of these kids, because talking to people, Aguilar health-wise is not going to be able to go out there and do anything in the spring. So you take the entire spring and you figure out who both of these kids are. And you test them and you put them in spots. And then you take some of the summer and you do the exact same thing. And you pitch to both of these kids that, hey, you got a chance to be our starting quarterback this fall. Now, we're going to bring this guy back. We're going to pay him, which allows you to have credibility before your team that this is not a bridge year, to your point, Tom. But if push comes to shove and one of those guys is better than Aguilar, you better have the guts to play him. You better have the stones to play him. And I don't know if these guys do. I think our head coach is risk averse, Tom, and that's the thing that scares me. I think he's too risk averse.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And on the way out for me, Tony, I would just say that I know that there were some spotty times with the show here and JG, but I would love for you to invite him on to shoot on Jeremy Pruitt for about 30 minutes.
Listen, I feel sorry for that kid when you look at his career, and thank you. I look back at Jerry Gantano years, and I feel sorry for him. How many different OCs did he play for, Matt?
At least 4.
It's a joke. He didn't
no,
have.
He never had a chance.
Never had a chance
here.
No. 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 Nope. Never had a chance. And when you got four different voices in your ear, you never really know who you are. And of the 4 different voices, Matt, how many of them would you call solid minds when you look back on it?
I mean, Tyson Helton's proven to be a pretty decent coach.
Yeah.
But his year here was a total disaster, and him and Pruitt just never got along.
Yes.
And never fit. I don't know. Garantano he was in such a bad position with what was around him and the coaching and just, as good as highly ranked as he was, he wasn't that, as bad as, we want to crack on the guy. He was never going to live up to those recruiting rankings because he wasn't even a great high school player, which is what was the craziest thing about him.
Yeah, it wasn't. The whole thing was not fair to him from beginning to end. Yeah. The expectations were.
He handled it like a pro and still does, which is really crazy that he still loves this place. He has zero reason to.
What I like about him is he's really, really, really great online. I hope he sticks with that because that's a tough slog. Carving out your own niche in any of this stuff is really hard. It's hard to monetize it. You get to the point where a lot of people just give up, and that's why you see what people want to start things and it looks easy and it's not. But he is a really good communicator. I think he could have a really bright future as a broadcaster. I find him to be insightful. I find him interesting. I think he's kind of self-deprecating, which is something worth celebrating. And yeah, we were pretty rough on him here. I mean, we called the guy Club Gitmo on the air, which, that point.
Capped at 24 points.
At that point was a torture facility off the coast of Miami.
Capped at 24 points.
And we called that era torture. But it was only because, and we would play in the club too, by the way. We would in the club, got some bud, in the club. So I mean, would we do that all over again if we were given the chance? Yeah. I really do think the guy has a bright future as a broadcaster. I hope he stays with it. And the SEC network or somebody needs to hire him and give him a shot. But 865-200-5402. And as a couple of folks are making fun of him, Matt, because he would he would score a touchdown to make it 35-7, and he would shoot his arrow. Like there was some of that. I mean, that era, there certainly was some of that.
Running right into a sack.
Dark humor, or, and I love him. I appreciate him.
Just getting, not recognizing the blitz and just getting
snapping a ball
Had
when
no
the numbers. Clue. Yeah, when he wasn't coached. To Matt's point, he wasn't coached. I mean, you have Chris Winkie over there developing it. Where is Winkie now? Stinky Winkie. Tinky Winkie.
He was the QB coach at Georgia Tech, and he was their OC for their bowl game. I don't know if he's retained or what his deal is.
Let's freaking go.
Coach Heisman.
Let's freaking go. Yeah, he carries that thing around like he's in WWE, and it's the Money in the Bank briefcase. So we continue with more. We'll get some more calls in after this. Electrician, would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff
It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexial Kristen.
Hey, Tony. Good to see ya. Connexial builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the .1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexial.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexial, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest, finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
Bradley's and your Tony Basilio Show are a Knoxville tradition. And these days, just like Tony B's show has taken off like a rocket ship, so have my friends at Bradley's. Sure, they still have all the delicious chocolate you're used to, like the chocolate-covered popcorn in the assortment boxes. They're now called Bradley's Gift and Home, and they have so much more than chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home has all kinds of amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. Guys, trust me, As Basilio would say, Bradley's Gift and Home have taken it to the next level. And remember, Bradley's will have freshly dipped chocolate-covered strawberries in milk and white chocolate at both of their locations, 141 North Peters Road and 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available February 13th and 14th. See you at Bradley's Bradley's Gift and Home. See our website, shopbradleys.com.
TB back with the 865-200-5402. Fired up, focused, and prepared. Larry Vaught today picked your Kentucky Wildcats to defeat the Vols Saturday, which is newsworthy because generally he's picking the Vols in recent years. I think this is an interesting game. I think this is an interesting game. Equally as interesting, we're a week out from the start of college baseball season. Is that right, Bri? How many days? 10 days, 12 days? What's the number?
It's 8 days.
8 days.
Next Friday, 13th Friday.
8 days on the road, and I'm going to make it home. And what time's first pitch, Bri?
I believe it's 4:30 in the afternoon.
Shit. I'll be in the house.
Matt, do you want a weather report?
Yeah, give me an advance. Let's do that. An advance. Larry Vaught did a thing today of something daints and franks or something. He was really getting it. Do you think he knows, Bri, that we talk about his chaints and all that stuff? Because he said
I'm
today
sure that's gotten back to him. It has to have.
Because he said daints and franks today, like in a sentence. I was like, "You come on, man, you're leaning into it now. Come on, brah." All right, Bri. Go ahead.
Well,
before you do that, give us the breaking news on where the coaches have ranked this year's edition of the baseball team, who go into uncharted territory without the man with the glowing smile, the man with incredible teeth, the man that can light up a room like light bright. Bri, where are the Vols?
Tennessee's been picked. They've been picked to finish 6th in the SEC behind number 1 is LSU,
nice.
2 is Texas, 3 Mississippi State, Arkansas is 4, and somebody else is between them and 6, but the Vols are 6th, which is still Omaha good.
Matt, how do you plead?
In the SEC.
Matt, how do you plead to that ranking?
That seems pretty fair.
I agree.
Gets you right there in the mix to host a regional or be a regional host, which is kind of my goal every year.
Yep.
At least it has been. Obviously some years you have higher expectations than that, but if you can try to host a regional every year, you're in a good position. Kind of middle of the pack. The less kind of hype and this team gets going into the season, I think is better.
Yes.
To help Elander grow into being the head coach and take some of the pressure off the players. And, they have a really talented team, and I don't think there'll be a ton of drop off. It'll be interesting to see how they work it out with the new rosters and how do they approach midweek games differently and all that stuff. So it should be fun, and they'll be, got enough talent to make Omaha again.
Matt will be in the house covering the event. We're also going to do our Garza Law Extra Innings program after the baseball games, after the series finales. Will Heflin starting a new podcast for us called Starting Rotation, which is going to drop Wednesdays for the Thursday series games. Well, probably on Thursdays, really. But anyway, and then he and Matt will be doing our post-game stuff. He and Matt will also be collaborating on that podcast. Plus, Matt's going to be doing some of his own stuff over on our YouTube channel as well. So we've got a ton of baseball coverage coming your way, and it's very, very, very exciting. We're excited for the upcoming season. And before we go back to the phones, we were talking about the Gitmo years, and Hewitt Pruitt put it this way, because if you remember, somebody pointed out that at one point his name was Garantano. Brian, where did it start and what did it become? I can't keep all this
It was
straight.
Garantano to Garantano. Some announcers, some TV guys would say Garantano.
Okay, and which one's right?
And I don't know if that's Tom Hart or Dave Neal, but I think it's. I always thought it was Garantano.
What is it, Matt? What did he want to be called? I think he told us it was Garantano, didn't he?
Eventually, he said it was Garantano, right?
Like Dan
Is that
Tano.
right?
Like Dan Tano. Following Starsky and Hutch, Dan Tano.
I don't know. He got hit so much, his name changed.
Pruitt said tomato, Vescovi, Garantano. Let's call the whole thing off. That's a great line. We have some simpletons over on our YouTube channel if you want to check that out. For some reason, in mid-February, on kind of a cold day, there's like a couple hundred people in there watching right now. And Will Heflin's so great. I love him. That was fun, right, Matt, doing that with him?
Yeah, good. He brings a really great perspective from a little inside the program, so it makes it really good.
And he's really high on Elander, too, which will be fun to see. You know, I'm not so sure the Vols won't get better at game management with him at the helm. You guys just gonna let that hang out there? Nobody gonna comment on that? All right,
they're gonna hold runners on.
Go! I mean, let's go. God forbid you throw over to first base, you know? That thing with Marcus Phillips last year, that one game when they decided to start doing it after that, when he gave up like 19 steals, is one of the silliest things I've ever seen in my life. I mean, no offense. And I love Frank Anderson, but gee, you talk about stubborn. You talk about committing to the bit. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You are on our Thursday edition. We talk about the fact that Joey Aguilar, we get him back. That's in the mix and in the hunt. Your thoughts on that? Tennessee and Kentucky and Lexington on Saturday night. 8:30 start, probably more like 8:45. Jeremy Pruitt looks like he's going to go back to Maryland and going to re-enter the college game, coaching at Maryland with Mike Loxley up there, who back in the old days was a good old renegade himself. And Mike Loxley was on Nick Saban's staff, so obviously that's how they know each other. Or Saban, if you will, if you want to take when Pruitt looked like one of the Turbinators. But let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Lumbo. Welcome in, man. 2 days in a row.
I got a question for the panel, everybody.
All
right. You can have year 2 of GMAC, Faison Brandon, or year 1 of whatever, if those two can't play, year 1 of whatever transfer QB they go and get in 2027, or you can have year 2 of Aguilar in 2026. Which one are you choosing?
Matt, which one are you choosing?